From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center Outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 7 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We have a small radio show in a small town, and it's a popular but small show, right?
Yes, it is.
And we have more email and more mail than we really can handle. It's just amazing. I've often wondered, what is it like to really have a successful show? Well, I can ask. We have somebody on the phone who's had this. I bet he gets so much mail. Peter Engel is on the phone. You know his work. He's the creator and executive producer of the TV show Saved by the Bell. He also was the creator, I think, of Last Comic Standing. He's got more than 50 years in the TV industry. He created teen television series, including California Dreams, Hang Time, City Guys, USA High. He worked to help elect President John F. Kennedy.
That's amazing.
Holy cow. He must be friends with Henry Kissinger. They just live forever.
I think so.
His book is called I Was Saved by the Bell, Stories of Life, Love, and Dreams That Do Come True. It's his memoir, and there's no mention in the book of how many letters he gets. Peter Engel, good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning. Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year to you, too. Where do you live? Where are you right now, I should say?
I'm on the ocean in Santa Monica looking at the ocean as I'm talking to you.
Oh, I used to work there. I used to work in the pizza place that now rents bicycles.
Really?
Yeah. What's it called?
Well, you would be out of business because there are bicycle rentals on everywhere in every street.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, where? At what point did you decide you wanted to write the book?
I've been working on it for about 5 years, and I really was lazy. Okay, and then when they did the reunion on Jimmy Fallon, they did the Bell reunion.
Right.
My son works for YouTube, and I called them that night, and I said, how many hits do you think we'll get? He said, 1 million to 1.5 million. I said, no way. We got 35 million hits.
I believe that.
Said,
wow.
And I said, I better get this book out now.
Yeah. Okay. And I was at least 2 of those hits because I saw it and then I showed it to Robin. So
yes.
Yes. So we were at least 2 of them. Well, you know what it is? I mean, we love when we feel like we know characters on TV as the characters. Yeah. Sometimes it's disappointing when the actors don't seem to live up to who the characters are, and then other times it's okay. It depends on who it is, I guess.
People say Bell was great writing because I wrote the first one and rewrote everyone and wrote 11 of the first 100. But it was the kids. I mean, no one had ever played their own ages on television. I mean, there have been shows. This was the first show where they were the stars, the adults were the secondary characters. And I remember writing that first scene with Zach saying they're all terrorists after him, and that's why he was late. And I handed it to my daughter, who was a year younger than them, and we had no casting yet or anything. I just had one scene. I said, read this. And then she said, oh, my gosh, I'm in love with Zach. I said, how can you be in love with Zach? There's a guy on a piece of paper. She said, I'm in love with Zach.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. Well,
and they were magic. They were absolutely magic, each in their own way. They were just that magic, Aaron Spelling and I used to talk about it. They were lightning. They say you can't catch lightning in a bottle. They were lightning in a bottle.
Is it possible to tell us how they became magic, or was it accidental? What do you know?
No, it wasn't accidental. I created the characters, and when it's right, it's right. And there are shows where I had the cast du jour almost. They're changing them every week or every month. It's just one of those things. They were all of the 6 of the kids were unique characters in their own right.
Did they become children to you? Did they become like your surrogate?
Of course. Of course they did. They were only 14. And Screech was only 11. I misread his birth date.
Really?
And,
Wow.
and I said to Mark Paul Gosselaar, the second show, I said, what's with Dustin? He's such a kid. He says, well, he's only 11. I said, he's only 11? He was with me for 11 years. He was assistant principal on the new class when he wasn't even old enough to be out of high school. I brought him back to save it. But they were magical, and they were wonderful. And the first show, bang! They never missed. That audience came in, and they just responded. And people would forget they were kids. Of course, I had to be not only the executive producer, but the papa. And people don't realize, in addition to our fake school in the show, we had a real school upstairs where my offices were, because they had to go to school. So I had to be the principal of that school also.
Oh, wow.
That must have
I
been
wasn't
very
Mr.
hard.
Belding. It was, because we can't one grade below a C, and you can't work in California even in the summertime, or maybe it's a B. I can't remember. We had 2 teachers, and we had to run a real school.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your friendship, if you want to put it that way, with John DeLorean.
DeLorean was one of my dear friends. He was a character. There's something. He was the most gentle giant. He was like 6'5" and wore cowboy boots, so he was like 6'8". And he was very gentle. And I met him at a difficult time in his life. And I remember we were at a Bible study, and I'm having coffee with him, and I invited this ex-con to come. and we're sitting there afterwards, and he comes walking up, hey, Johnny, I heard you had some trouble with the feds. And John said, yeah. And he said, me too. And John said, what kind? He said, bank robbery. So John said, well, did you own a bank and the feds wouldn't pay off? He said, no, Johnny, I was the bank robber. and the coffee shot up my nose. I fall. He says, what's so funny? He goes, Johnny, do I look like I owned a bank? But John was a dear man, and he said, I guess I see the best in people. And Larry the con said, well, that's why you're different. Most people see the worst. John was a dear man, and I miss him. And he was a innovative genius.
And Back to the Future didn't even save his car, did it?
No.
Well, no, but the car. But he was getting money for each time people rode on it. I don't know, a penny, half a penny, something. I don't remember. He told me. I don't remember how much he was getting for each ride at Universal.
Well, your mom was pretty funny too, because you said one time you were leaving and she said, God bless you, and you said you turned around and said, Mom, I'm Jewish.
That wasn't my mom. That was the Mother Superior.
Oh,
I got all
I
the
see.
Catholic colleges, and I called the Mother Superior at this one college. Senator Kennedy was coming to town. We turn out all the Catholic schools to be Kennedy girls, and she said, they have midterms. I said, but he's coming. And she said, how many do you need? I said, lots. She said, give me a number. I said, lots. She said, how many? I said, 300. She said, you got them. And then she said, God bless you. I said, Mother Superior, you know that I'm Jewish. She said, yeah, I know. She goes, I know. God bless you.
God bless you. Yeah, why not? So where did you grow up? Where was your early beginning?
Manhattan.
Okay, that's
New York City, Manhattan, the west side of Manhattan.
And what were you doing as a kid? Were you always writing? Were you always interested in?
No. I fell in love with television when I saw the first variety show, Milton Berle, on television. And then I went to NYU and worked at night at NBC as one of the famous paid staff at 30 Rock. And so I would go to NYU, and then I'd take the subway up to 30 Rock, and that was my life in my junior and senior year. Right. And that was a great experience being an NBC page, but you had the run of the building. I mean, you go anywhere you want, and it was a great learning experience.
What was home life like at that point in your life? Was your family?
I was hardly home, but I was going to college and working.
But were you from a relatively wealthy family? Were you from a?
We were upper middle class. I would say wealthy. Not wealthy, but we were well off. Okay, let's put it that way. We lived in a giant, big towers on Central Park West.
So, what was your breakthrough moment when you were after being a page? How did you break into your first? I guess.
Well, I broke into that because they only took I couldn't get an interview, and finally I was shy in those days. I wasn't the big mouth I am now, and I did not know and do not know Henry Kissinger. Okay, I heard that.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the connection between helping Kennedy and being so involved with these amazing TV shows.
Right. Well, that was anyway, well, you really love it that Screech and I were in the Oval Office together. Lauren Littlefield, the president of NBC Entertainment at the time, and I was sitting in those two famous chairs. And I said to Warren, I think I'm hallucinating. He said, why? I said, Screech is behind President Clinton's desk. He said, no, he's not. I go, look at him. That was the connection from John F. Kennedy to Screech in the Oval Office.
Oh, okay.
You really, throughout your book, you make us laugh, but you also are insightful that you say people need to stay true to our own passions and our own values. Yeah.
Absolutely. You got to have a passion. You have to dream big. Mm-hmm. I mean, big dreams are as hard to accomplish as little ones. And people are going to say, you'll never make it, or they'll scare you, how are you going to make a living? And I've been knocked down so many times with so many shows that woulda, shoulda, coulda, that broke your heart. Mm-hmm. And I had my heart broken personally and professionally so many times. But you know something? After Bell, we had 9 hits in a row. And you could never, ever appreciate it unless you'd gotten off the mat, unless you've been knocked down. I'm sure Steven Spielberg never had that experience, but I did, and most people do.
But in your case, you have to sell the idea to the network every single time, or did it get easier because of the record, the track record?
It got easy at one point, and we sold a couple of shows we shouldn't have sold.
Okay. So they said you've got a good track record. We'll trust you.
Yeah. Well, at that point, we were going 6. We had 6 shows shooting at the same time. One is a full-time job, and it wasn't for my OCD. I could never have accomplished it. Everything had to be perfect in its own place.
Do you still pitch? Do you still pitch ideas?
No, I'm done.
You're done.
No. People pitch me ideas, but now it's the book, and I'm trying to put together the Broadway musical, Saved by the Bell, the musical, Broadway.
Oh, my gosh.
I just finished writing that and bringing in a music guy now, and it's a long shot, but, who knows? Bell was a long shot. Who thought that a comedy would end up in 85 countries when usually they go to 6?
Yeah, right. What countries besides America was it the biggest in?
France. France was immense. Screech was like Jerry Lewis.
Isn't that funny?
He was, I'm serious. France was immense. The Scandinavian countries were huge. Germany, Italy, Spain. South America was very big. Of course, we had Canada. The UK was big. But you have to remember that no comedies ever traveled except to UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. And this blew out everybody because every kid goes to school somewhere. And they wanted to see how the California kids lived. And we played that.
Got it, yeah.
In fact, we shot the beach shows. I can almost see where we shot them right up the beach here.
Uh-huh.
Gosh.
I didn't live here then. I lived in town in Brentwood.
Did you have one-on-one contact with each of the actors' parents to alleviate any of the fears that they would have to have their child in that show?
The parents can be a pain in the neck.
Right.
Never. but never. I mean, stage moms can be a real, you can imagine. I never had one moment that was not perfect with the parents. They understood it. Each of them put the show ahead of their own child. Everyone knew that Mark Paul Gosselaar was a star. They knew it, okay? He talked to the camera. He was the center of the show. And there was never any backslap, back. There was never a mean word. The parents were terrific.
And
but go ahead.
Oh, how did you handle the finances? Because we hear the stories about the child actors, like that happened in the 40s and the 50s. How
we didn't have that problem.
Run out of money. How did you handle that for the children?
Well, it wasn't me. It was California state law and NBC and me. 80% of their earnings until they were 21 went into a trust. 20% went to them immediately, and so the money was protected until they were 21. I don't know how Dustin Diamond had some problems. I don't know how that happened because the money, 80% went into the trust, and you couldn't touch it.
Yeah. Whatever. What did happen to him? What was it?
I don't know what happened, but I felt very badly for.
Where is he now?
Problems.
Is he still in jail?
I don't know. I hope not. I don't think so. I feel badly. He kept me laughing for 11 years.
Right.
I mean, he was hysterical. I mean, I would ruin some. We did our movies. We went to Hawaii, went to Las Vegas. I would ruin takes. I'd have an earpiece in off camera, and I would start to laugh because he would break me up. He was a comic genius, and really, really sad what happened with him.
Wow. So do you stay in touch with any of the kids at all? I'm guessing
once in a while, Mario and I talk. Mark Paul used to live nearby here in the marina, and once in a while.
So did I understand you right? Saved by the Bell is going to be a musical? Is that what you said?
We hope it's going to be. I'm working on that. It's tough. But
so will you move back to New York?
No. I'll come for rehearsal. I'm not going to leave the beach here in Santa Monica. This has been my lifelong dream to live like this. I'm looking at the beach and the ocean right now in palm trees. I'm talking to you. It's kind of dreary today, actually.
It is a beautiful area.
I'm not going to leave this. If anything, I'll come back for rehearsal, opening night, and all that.
Even though you had personal heartaches to overcome, are you extremely happy with the way your life is turning out?
Totally blessed with no regrets. Sinatra had the song "Regrets I've Got." I have regrets. I've not.
And
I have no regrets, because all the heartbreak, all the breakups, all the times I was knocked down made me who I am today, and I don't think I would change a thing.
All right,
I would change one thing.
I would give you an update on Dustin Diamond. I looked him up. It said Dustin Diamond is happy to be out of jail and performing in Yonkers. So
Yonkers.
That's what it says. That's what it says on the internet. Yeah.
Yonkers racetrack used to be very famous. They used to have the what do you call them? What kind of not horse racing? But they had carts beyond. What are they called?
Oh right. Yeah. Oh, I see him. He's doing stand-up comedy now. That's what he's doing. Okay.
Well, that's what he did after the show, and the problem was people wanted to see Screech, and he wouldn't do Screech. Yeah. I mean, if he would have done 10 minutes of Screech, I think he would have. That's what they wanted to see.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
You have a chapter in there that says God is nice, and you reference to being able to get out of your contract with Universal, and that's really tough to do, I think.
Yeah, but God didn't do that. They let me go. I mean, God is nice. With Universal, I couldn't get out because I had another one. But finally, they let me out, and the rest is history.
Did it ever get out of hand? Did any of the shows, or just did other people try to, like, I don't know, take it from you or take control from you? Any of that stuff?
No. NBC was great. They owned half my company, and they were awesome partners. Last comment, so people said, did they ever interfere with the teen show? They never, because they just didn't, and they trusted us. On the other hand, Last Comic Standing was like the Syrian Civil War. They were always doing something to mess up the show.
Really?
And there was in retrospect, I realized, even though we went 9 seasons on and off, right? Who knows, it might come back again. I realized the reality guys had never dealt with comedy. They dealt with The Apprentice. They dealt with all these different shows. Now we're doing comedy, and the fights we used to have were over comedy. And all my people were comedy people.
Right.
And I realize now, all these years, to realize why we had such conflict, because they didn't know it was funny.
Well, you're a delight. I am really enjoying this conversation. Let me give the book away. I have a copy of the book, I Was Saved by the Bell, written by Peter Engel. What an honor to have you on our show.
It is an honor.
Call me if you want the copy that was sent to us. It says it's for review only, so it's kind of like a collector's copy.
Oh.
Do we have? What would I do? What address? What do I want to say, Robin? What web address do I tell people to go to?
I'll give you 2. Amazon. That's easy enough, right?
That's good.
And our website, IWasSavedByTheBell.com.
All right. IWasSavedByTheBell.com.
Was there any doubt in your mind that this would not work?
Yes, because remember, you don't remember, we premiered in prime time in August, 3 nights, 3 weeks in a row, and the 4th was Saturday morning. But people don't remember that our lead-in was Chipmunks, and our lead-out was Smurfs, and we were against a rabbit, a raisin, and a bear. Yeah. And I didn't know that anyone would ever find us in that landscape. And they sure did, though. We had more within 6 weeks, we had more teenage girls and tweens, a word we invented, on Saturday morning than the Cosby Show, which was the #1 show in prime time, had on Thursday night. And then once we knew that, well, we just we just knew where we were. And we didn't have email in those days. We used to get 20,000 letters dumped on the floor in our offices a week.
Oh, wow.
Well, that show was so relatable, though. I mean, you and your fellow writers were really on top of the problems or the happiness of the day for the teenagers.
Yes, and we took on things that no one else was taking on. If you can laugh and cry, make them cry, you're ahead.
Yeah.
We did drug thing. We did drinking and driving. We did an oil spill on the campus. We did all kinds of things that no one was doing. Homeless. We did a 2-part homeless show, a Christmas show. A girl was living who was going to their school was living in the mall.
Yeah.
And no one took that on in 1993.
No. I think that's why people. I think that's why the show was such a hit. People could relate to it and really felt like they knew those characters as if they were friends. Well, gosh, you created a whole world for us, and thank you for taking a half hour to be with us today, Peter. Have a great holiday, whatever it is you're doing. I don't know, New Year's is over, so forget the holidays. Forget it. We're done.
We got the Rose Bowl. The Rose
Bowl, of course. All right. Peter Engel, thank you for being on the air with us today. That was fun.
My pleasure. I had a lot of fun with you guys.
Right.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The gunman who massacred 39 people at an Istanbul nightclub New Year's Eve remains at large, but officials are learning more about him.
Police suspect that he might be part of the same ISIS cell which attacked Istanbul airport back in June. That attack left 41 killed. As a result, Turkish officials believe the attacker might be from the Central Asian countries of Uzbekistan or Kyrgyzstan.
Fox's Benjamin Hall. Turkish media says police are holding 8 others in connection with the attack. Police in South Carolina say it looks like a murder-suicide. A man, a woman, and 2 children found dead of gunshot wounds. They're still investigating.
Just follow up on any other leads and determine a timeline and other things that will help us piece together what happened.
Lexington County Sheriff's Captain Adam Myrick. In Miami, someone in a car pulled up to a group of people outside a house last night and opened fire. 7 people hurt, 1 critically. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Hi, this is Maury Moreland Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Yes, while Geico could help you rack up more moolah faster than you can say metamorphosis, they've also been the fastest growing auto insurer for more than 10 years. That's more like it. Furthermore, Geico has fast and friendly claim service. That might seem like an oxymoron, but it's not. All the more reason to say no other auto insurer has more than Geico. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Pay fast with the Master Pass. Don't buy it. Master Pass it. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Simple and easy. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Don't buy it. Master Pass it. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Secure and so easy.
MasterPass, the simple, secure way to pay from MasterCard. Accepted at select merchants.
Don't buy it. MasterPass it.
Council.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Here are today's headlines from The Source. WOCA newly elected Sheriff William Billy Woods will be sworn into office tomorrow morning. Woods will take the place of interim Sheriff Emery Gainey, who stepped in to cover the position after former Sheriff Chris Blair stepped down amid legal allegations. Woods will be sworn into office at the inauguration ceremony tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Marion County Sheriff's Office Operations Center at 692 Northwest 30th Avenue here in Ocala. The Star Banner is reporting that there was only one DUI arrest during New Year's Eve and New Year's morning. The report states that the Ocala Police Department had a New Year's Eve free of any DUI arrests from Saturday night through noon on Sunday, New Year's Day. The one arrest was made by the Marion County Sheriff's Office and was made in the 3000 block of Southeast Maricamp Road at 11:47 p.m. Saturday. The report does indicate that Highway Patrol arrest information was not available, so there may have been arrests on the interstate and other thoroughfares. A 6-year-old boy was struck and killed by a vehicle yesterday afternoon in front of his house, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Florida Highway Patrol said the accident occurred around 3:30 p.m. at 10th Street and Washington Avenue in Orange County. 50-year-old Soraya Youngblood was traveling down 10th Street in her white BMW SUV when the victim, Camry Dennison, riding his bicycle, pulled his bicycle out of the driveway and into the road. Youngblood was unable to avoid striking Camry, who was thrown from the bicycle into the street. He was taken to Florida Hospital in Apopka, where he died from his injuries. Dennison's grandmother, Dora Norman, struggled for the words to express her grief and anguish following Camry's death. She said, quote, "It's my baby. I can't find the words to say. So lost and empty right now," unquote. Family members said Camry was in first grade and involved in Little League football. Norman described him as full of energy. The crash remains under investigation. After 2 years, the City of Claremont's red light camera program will expire at midnight tomorrow. The city initiated the program at 4 intersections along State Road 50 on January 3rd, 2014. The intersections are at 12th Street, 5th Street, East Avenue, and Hancock Road. City officials voted to end the program in 2014, but had to wait for the 3-year contract to expire, or the city would have had to pay a large fine. Officials say citizens complained, and they would rather have officers enforce traffic violations. Claremont Mayor Gail Ash says the city was supposed to get 24 cameras. Until the program expires, drivers can still receive tickets, which Ash says are $158 each. Claremont Police say they are adding an officer to the traffic unit, and they will use the data collected from the red light cameras to help officers on the streets. Contact the Claremont Police Department at 352-394-5588 for questions regarding the city's red light program. And it's an end of an era for Florida's oldest water park. Wet n Wild closed its doors permanently on Saturday. People braved the cold weather to say goodbye to the Orlando icon and enjoy one last splash. In 2015, Universal Orlando announced it would shut down the water park at the end of 2016. Universal hopes fans will instead go to its new water park called Volcano Bay, which is expected to open later this year. For many diehard fans, the closure was a bittersweet moment. More than 1 million people visited Wet n Wild each year, making it the 4th most popular water park in the United States. And those are the headlines from the source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Monday, unseasonably warm and humid with clouds and sun. There can be a shower, mainly in the afternoon, the high 80 to 84. Mostly cloudy and warm Monday night with a thunderstorm or two in the area, low 64 to 68. For Tuesday, clouds, some sun, and still warm with a couple of showers, the high 78 to 82. And for Wednesday, mostly cloudy, not as warm, high 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online. When you go into Automax, Marion County's #1 pre-owned dealer for over 15 years, you won't take the new car depreciation because Automax saves you thousands on late model vehicles. Browse the inventory online at automaxocala.com. Then come down to see the great vehicles and upfront pricing in person. Compare up to 60 models inside the climate control showroom. So take your time. No high pressure, no gimmicks, no games. On the corner of 17th and Easy Street. Automax. Quality cars, outlet prices.
Today in Florida Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. Well, focusing on a priority of Senate President Joe Negron, a Senate panel this month will receive a series of presentations about polluted water discharges from Lake Okeechobee and efforts to restore the Everglades. According to a story from the News Service of Florida, the Senate Environment and Natural Resources Appropriations Subcommittee on January 11th will hear presentations by agencies like the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and the South Florida Water Management District, along with presentations by environmental advocates and agricultural landowners. That's according to an agenda posted online. The state and residents have repeatedly grappled with polluted discharges from Lake Okeechobee into waterways on the Treasure Coast and in Southwest Florida. Negron of Stuart, Florida, has made a priority of addressing the issue and has proposed a plan to use conservation money to buy farmland just south of the lake for water storage.
Whether at your local green market, corner grocery store, or neighborhood restaurant, you're supporting your community when you buy local.
Food grown right here by Florida farmers doesn't need to be shipped this far.
That saves fuel and cuts emissions.
Buying local is more than just supporting area businesses and growers.
It's buying fresh, wholesome, and delicious food for your family.
Products you trust from people you trust.
Fresh from Florida.
Good for the environment.
Good for the economy.
Good for you.
Hi, I'm Adam Putnam, Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture. From Pensacola to Key West, Florida's farmers, ranchers, fishermen, clammers, and oystermen produce and harvest a wide variety of fresh, wholesome products. Take advantage of all that Florida has to offer by learning about Florida's harvest seasons. You can find fresh, locally grown products at affordable prices nearly any time of year. Visit freshfromflorida.com to find out what is available when and browse thousands of recipes featuring Fresh from Florida products.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Whether you're just starting out in your career or ready to make a change, being a commercial pilot is within your reach. The FAA has predicted that in the next few years, the number of planes in the sky will double, and that means a lot more jobs in aviation. Ocala Aviation has teamed up with an accredited university, enabling you to get a college degree in aviation while training to be a commercial pilot. And with options like financial aid, grants, and scholarships, it's never been a better time to get your new career in aviation started today.